Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my home in Paradise, California. I'm Teresa James, and today I have some overnight guests, so I'm fixing them a bright-eyed and bushy-tailed breakfast casserole made with Philadelphia brand cream cheese. They're going to wake up to some delicious smells. I'm going to be using what I call my man pan. This is a pan you can chase the man around the house with, much better than a rolling pin. And here, we're going to cook our hash browns and a whole cube of butter. So let's get that going. I'm using a pork sausage today, but if you wanted to fix a vegetarian one, you could do a pound of sliced button mushrooms, a little onion. Or you could do this with green eggs and ham. I've actually done that for a church brunch once, where I diced up cooked ham, thawed out some spinach, and put it into the eggs as they were blended. And the kids absolutely ate it up. Green eggs and ham. It was a real treat. Okay, our hash browns are looking so delicious. They're crispy brown. Going to be so good in this casserole. They're our base. And here's our sauteed pork sausage and onion. Now I'm just going to season my hash browns with a couple of pinches of salt, and then some ground black pepper. Now, into my wonderful purple mixer, I am going to add 8 ounces of whipped Philly cream cheese. It is softened, very soft at room temperature because it's warm in here because I've been cooking. So that goes in very nicely and should whip up nicely with our eggs. To the cream cheese, I'm first going to add 1 can of mild green chilies. Now, some of you like life a little bit spicier, but I'm spicy enough, so I'm going to do the mild here. Pardon the sound here for the mixer. We're just going to blend those together. Doesn't take very long. And we're going to add a dozen eggs, but we're going to add just a couple at a time. So as you see, they're nice and incorporated. Go ahead and add a couple more. I think that was more than 2 there. Got away from me because I was talking to y'all. This is our real base for our casserole. Okay, now all of our eggs are blended in there. We're going to add just a 1/4 cup of milk. Now you can add any kind of milk you want. I use 2%. You can add whole milk, you could add heavy cream, you could add buttermilk. Imagine that, buttermilk. Now I'm just going to turn this a little bit higher. I've got my whisk attachment on, so it's whisking those eggs, get them light and fluffy. Now I've sprayed my Paula Deen 9x9 inch casserole with some butter pan spray. Works out real handy that way. And into this I'm going to put my first layer, which is my nicely browned hash browns. Now, atop my hash browns goes my nicely browned pork sausage and a nice layer with those diced up onions. Smooth it all around the top there. Nice second even layer. Now I'm just going to lightly season my eggs with a couple of pinches of salt. And again, one of my favorites, ground black pepper. Oh, spice of life. Can't have too much ground black pepper, let me tell you. And then we'll just whisk that around a little bit. Now remember, in the 12 eggs, whole eggs, I've got a can of green chilies, the mild, and my 8 ounces of whipped Philadelphia brand cream cheese. And we're just going to go ahead and pour that right over the top of this sausage and hash browns. Oh my goodness. Is that looking so good. The last thing I'm going to add here is about a cup of cheese. I've got a mixture here of a cheddar cheese shredded and a Monterey Jack. And I'm just going to put about a cup of that, and I'm going to save the other cup for just a little bit later when I take this, almost when I'm taking it out of the oven. I'm going to put it in a 400-degree oven for 40 minutes. melt a little more cheese on this. Oh, I gotta tell you, honey, this is looking so good. But I like just a little more cheese on top, so I like about a cup, just about a cup, of this mixture of the Jack cheese, Monterey Jack, and the sharp cheddar, put right over the top after those eggs had cooked up. And I put it back in the oven for another 5 minutes. Can't wait. Smells so good. Okay, here's our bright-eyed, bushy-tailed breakfast casserole right out of the oven. And I'm just going to scoop up a nice heaping helping here for my guest onto this plate. Oh, look at the steam coming off that. Isn't that the most beautiful thing you ever saw? Light and fluffy because of that cream cheese. It just pops those eggs right up. Okay, my guests are up because they've been smelling the goodness of this. This is our bright-eyed, bushy-tailed Philly cream cheese breakfast casserole. We served a little toasted bagel with a smear of cream cheese on the side and some fresh strawberries cut with that egg cutter that Paula suggested. We've got a mimosa and hot coffee. These guests ain't going to get out of here anytime soon. I hope you all enjoy. I called my doctor last night and said ever since this Real Women of Philadelphia contest started, I just can't sleep. He says you got this new syndrome called Philly on the brain. Take a dollop of Philly on a cracker and call me in the morning. Night.